about your boss.
Thanks, Roger.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Lodge.
Thanks, Linda.
So sorry to hear about your loss. Wow.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm okay, Ed.
Hey everyone, and welcome to our new episode. I'm Bella, and I'm a cinemaholic.
My name is Spencer, and I am a cinemaholic.
And I am Ryan, and I'm a cinemaholic as well. Today we are going to be talking about Suburbicon, which is a movie that at one point in my life I thought was going to Telluride, and I was super hyped up for it. Didn't make it, but we got to see it today. This is a movie written by the Coen brothers, Ethan and Joel, directed by the one and only man of all men, George Clooney, starring somebody who doesn't have enough screen time, who is the best part of the movie, in my opinion, Oscar Isaac, and also Matt Damon, Julie Ann Moore, and a young new star, Noah Jupp. So Spencer here is a huge Coen Brothers fan, so I'll let him kind of start us off. What were your thoughts with the movie?
Okay, so I've seen every one of the Coen Brothers movies, and this movie was not only written by the Coen brothers, it was also written by George Clooney, and there was one other screenwriting credit which I don't remember, but you can tell where that went. I can tell which one of these stories was written by the Coen brothers, because this is a movie that has two completely different stories. And in my opinion, despite the fact that the story that we get is like well written, it's pretty mildly entertaining, the more interesting story is not what this movie is about. Like, there's a really, really interesting thing going on just basically to another family in this town that when it started, I was like, wow, this is really like interesting. And I did not know that this was going to be what the movie is about. Like, how is Matt Damon going to play into this? Because I saw him on the poster and I was like, okay, he's obviously in the movie. And they introduce him in a very weird way, I thought. But then it totally went a different route, and it started telling a completely different story about a different family, and it felt very uneven as a result to me. I do think there are great scenes in this, particularly Ryan mentioned Oscar Isaac. He is in one scene with him and Julianne Moore that is an amazing scene. Like, that one scene, I was kind of like, man, Oscar Isaac, not only is he a great actor, he needs more like attention as far as like awards attention go, because he was great in that scene. That was an incredible scene. You could tell that was a Coen Brothers written scene. But yeah, I don't know. I thought this movie was good. I didn't hate it. It has like a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is completely unjustified in my opinion. But it's also a very uneven experience. So Bella, what did you think of Suburbicon?
Yeah, so I didn't know what it was about. I think I watched the trailer. I don't really remember. But like you said in the beginning, I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. There's this other family. Okay, let's see how it's gonna turn out. And then it completely changed, like you said. And I was like, oh, okay, we're like that family that we just saw, like the first scene. Was it really super necessary? I don't know, it just felt like it was good, and there were really good scenes, and I liked the idea of it. It wasn't my favorite, but I enjoyed seeing those scenes, and it was great. Acting was nice. I really liked it. And like you said, it was good, but not my favorite.
I agree with both of you. There is a huge separation between these two stories. I liked both stories, though I don't think they should have been the same movie. You should have chose one and focused on one. It seemed like they were two different movies stitched together that didn't really have much to do with each other.
Yeah.
And in their own different universes, I think both could have been good movies and good stories to investigate in. But most of the stuff with Matt Damon's character felt like Fargo, just not as good. Same similar story as Fargo. I would say honestly, this is in my top 5 worst trailers of the year. The trailer is, I feel like I haven't seen it for a few months, but I feel like the trailer is 80% third act stuff, and it markets a different movie for sure. It markets a bunch of killing and a bunch of Fargo-esque stuff, which really doesn't pay off until the end of the movie. Overall, I think it was just very meh, very middle ground. I didn't hate it, but I couldn't get on. And I honestly, I love George Clooney as a person and as an actor. His last few directing gigs have not panned out as much as they could have. But I think that's the thing with me and the Coen brothers is if they write it and direct it, it just has the Coen flair. And they get their own writing, and it's very snappy, and it's got this certain way of humor in the delivery of the lines. And I think that doesn't translate well with other directors. I wasn't a huge fan of Hail Caesar, and I feel like that was probably, did they direct that one?
Yeah, they did.
They did. I don't know what it was about that one that I didn't really like, but
I loved Hail
Jolie.
Caesar.
You liked Hail Caesar?
Yeah, I loved it. I didn't just like it, I loved it.
Really?
But yeah, you can continue with Suburbicon.
We digress. The Unbroken one was good, but I just feel like their material, and I think there's even a No Film School or Every Frame a Painting episode specifically on that, and it highlights some really cool stuff of other directors handling Coen material, and it just doesn't translate as well as when the Coens own their own stuff. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I want to make a comment because after we left the movie, we watched Fargo's trailer, and that is definitely a movie that because I have never seen it, so it's definitely a movie that that I will enjoy because just watching it, it felt like really my type of movie. So I was really surprised. I was like, oh yeah, I really want to watch that because I know there's a TV show, but I don't really know if they're related or not. I'm not.
It's like
really sure
anthology Elseworld kind of
yeah,
things.
that's all I want to comment.
Cool. Do you want to score it and sum up some more thoughts?
I just want to ask you guys, do you guys agree with me that this is like that we are stuck with the less interesting movie because we haven't really seen anything as far as like the whole racial subplot goes? We haven't really seen too many movies exactly like that. And like Ryan said, I really like your comment that this is like a worse version of Fargo. It's not near as good as Fargo. It's not near as tight a script as Fargo. And I wish it would have stayed with the African-American family. I thought that was really an interesting way to start. And it had no payoff. There was no progress with that story. Yeah. It was exactly how it began at the end of the movie.
I'm pretty split on that, honestly. In the long run, I think I probably would have liked to see the racial movie more, that story. But in the moment, it just felt so out of place. I wasn't interested in it because, I mean, Matt Damon's character isn't introduced until like 15 minutes into it, and he just kind of like pops up, and it was so jarring that I was just kind of like, oh, I don't care about that other story because obviously it has nothing to do with what's going on. But I think I would agree with you that was that probably would be the more interesting movie to have watched.
Yeah, and it felt like something was missing. Like it could like merge, those two families. Like something could happen. They would be like there would be something there, but there wasn't. So it was kind of out of place.
Yeah. All right, let's score it.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. I think I'll give Suburbicon a 6 out of 10. I like this movie somewhat. I think it's mildly entertaining. There are some really fun sequences. particularly every scene with Oscar Isaac. That was basically where the movie was at the peak of its powers. And there were a couple of shocking moments I thought were pretty Coen-esque and effective. Overall, though, it's just like it's too uneven for me to give it anything more. I don't think this is a bad movie, and I think that a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes is just baffling to me because I don't think it's a bad movie.
I kind of preemptively scored this. It was like 2/3 of the way through, and I just started thinking about what I would score it, and I thought to myself a 5.5, and I was like, something like really good is going to have to happen for me to enjoy this movie a lot more, and that never really happened. Like you said, the story's never had that one scene that was missing to tie it together, the payoff of this is why we just devoted 40 minutes of screen time to this, as well as 40 minutes of screen time to this other thing. And so I'm going to stick with my 5.5. I liked it more than I didn't like it, but there's not much to it besides Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, I think I'll give it like 5.5 too. And I think I was the person that didn't like it the most of all of us. I don't know, because I think it was okay. It was good. But there
You
was
don't have the
stuff
full potential of the
missing.
Coens though, because you haven't seen like Fargo and stuff. And so,
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. So it wasn't, it was all right. 5.5.
awesome. I think that'll do it for us today, guys. Make sure to subscribe and follow us though, because we've got a lot of cool reviews and reactions coming up soon. We've got one for American Vandal popping up soon, and we've got Stranger Things coming this weekend, as well as this one that you watched, and some exciting things next week. So follow us on Facebook and subscribe to us here. Follow me on Twitter and Letterboxd and Stardust at Riot_Gordon.
You can follow me on Twitter at @BellaRomano_ and on Stardust and Letterboxd at @BellaRomano.
You guys can follow me on all the same places at Spinny Hind. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Like Ryan said, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, bye.